Hi guys, it's Amanda here, and I've just been to, it's a shop called The Works, and they sell a lot of things at discounted rates, and I wanted to show you some of the things that I brought and some of the things that you can potentially do with it, and compare it to some of the things that I brought somewhere else. Anyway, okay, so I just wanted to contrast and compare from another shop. Anyway, so I found these, they're loom twisters, but I didn't actually buy it for this. I actually bought it for the case, because a case like this in my local store is retailing for about, let me think, how much is it going for? About £5. But this has all the compartments I need. They're quite deep, and they're useful for beads and stuff like that, and that's what I'm going to be using them for. So I brought 3 of these. They were £2, knocked down from £9.99. Now the other thing is, these loom bands are quite popular at the moment, and they were selling. I was trying to work out whether it was worthwhile getting this, but as I said, because I want it for the case itself, and then, you know, they're adjustable, as you can see. Oops. So I can put it to any size that I want, and I didn't even realise that. I can put it to whatever size I want. So these loom bands, as I say now, are quite popular, and I'm thinking that I can have a go anyway and see what I think. But when you think about the fact that this is quite a sturdy case, it's got separate compartments, I can put it to whatever sizes I want. I've got some quite large bangles and things, like if you think things like this that I would like to store, I can now, once I've adjusted this, store some of the bigger beads and stuff that I've been collecting for other projects. But this also comes with some charms. This comes with 6 or 8 different charms that I can use anyway in some of my fabric projects. And these are, I'm not sure what these are. These are obviously to do with this loom thing. This comes with a hook, so it's almost like a crochet hook basically, yeah, and then this array of colours. So I was working out these 10p per, I'm getting everywhere now, 10p per bag. So it still works out cheaper. I've still got more value for money, because I've not only got these, and you can use them for a variety of different projects, not only, I've just seen how strong they are actually. So they're quite sturdy, quite strong. So you can use them for other projects. It comes with instructions in terms of how to make these loom bracelets. And there were some books there. They were selling them for £1, but I didn't bother because it wasn't really something that I wanted to get into. But as I say, you know, £2. I've got a case that I want, and I can repackage these into bags. Okay, so that was the first one. So I've got, you know, and it comes with 500 extra free looms. I'm going to take this off so that then, you know, I can see inside the case. So that's one of the things that I recommend, you know, you can try and do. So you might find something that suits the purpose that you want it for. It's made for something else. This was storage for these loom things, but it's a really good price because I brought, and I'll show you, I went to the craft store and brought this for £2, not with the contents, it's just the case. As you see, you know, these are not, you can't move these. The good thing about it is that it goes right up to the top so that you can tip it over and not have anything mixed up. But this is £2, you know, and I can fit 3 of these in there. Yeah, so I can store more things, they're deeper, and once I've got this, so you can get this off like that. You don't need to see me finishing off. It's quite satisfying. It's quite satisfying. So that was that. So I got 3 of those. So I've got enough in terms of containers. I've got enough to suit my needs. And then I picked up. So I picked up this anyway. It was £2.99. Knocked down to £1.50, and I think these are attachable, so you can do, I don't know, width wider ones. I meant to put this back, but you know, that might come in handy. Okay, so other things that I brought were, I left these out. See, it's just like a mini crochet hook, really. So I got a couple of books, even though I've got my Kindle. The first book I brought was this one. It's called Material Obsession, Contemporary Quilt Designs. And as you can see, it was only £3, retail price £19, but it's got some really nice quilt designs that I thought some of the patterns might inspire me, and it's got some templates as well, but it's got, you know, step-by-step instructions on how to produce a quilt, and that's what I want to be able to make quilts. It's got quite a lot of projects here, you know, let's see, over 20 projects, and then it's got the basics, quilting basics, cutting fabric, and placing it, layout, which is really, you know, which is a really good idea. Shows you how to piece them together, how to cut them, and I just thought they were really pretty. Some of the materials they use are really pretty, and there was one that kind of caught my eye, and I just thought, oh, it was this one with the it's called the Burbs. So it's like, you know, people and houses, very kind of quirky design. So I got that, and that was £3, so I was quite pleased with that purchase. I also brought this book. It's called Prefab Jewellery. It's by Lark Publishers, and it says easy projects using ready-made parts. Now, I used to love power tools, and I can see, you know, some of the things that it uses, like things like jump rings. No, it's got a jump ring necklace that you can use, but some of the pins and the geometric shapes and the washers that you would get in a toolbox, you could utilize those things. And I was thinking to myself, you know, there are so many. Look at this. This is gorgeous. This is sterling silver tubing, fabricated, soldered, sliced. Okay. So you're going to need some sort of materials, but for the basics, I'm just thinking the basics, attaching things together. It's got all the tools you need, but it's got some really nice examples of how people have, you know, like sheet metal, and they've made these discs, put it jump ring and earring. I like these rings here, tubular rings. But I recently bought myself a soldering iron, and this, I'm going to have a look through this and see what kind of, you know, it's just inspiring really. And if not to wear, not necessarily to wear, again, combining it with some of the fabric projects. So that was a nice book. I was pleased with that book. And the other book I brought was glass painting. So this was, they said it was £10, retail for £10, but it was knocked down to 49 pence. And I thought to myself, if it's got some templates, it's worth, you know, as well as being able to know how to glass paint. I do have some glass paints, and it would be nice to kind of get some ideas as to, you know, simple things that, again, that you could do to decorate glass and make it kind of, you know, unique. You know, some of these jars, I've got some mason jars that would be nice to have, you know, some sort of pattern on, make them kind of individualistic. So that was a good buy. So again, you know, sometimes they're selling off these books, and they're quite useful. I got this for £1. It's a tapestry loom. I went to my local haberdasheries in a larger well-known store, and they were selling these for like £5–6, and so it's not bad for £1. And I got this as well. This was for £2, and it came with it's create an applique picture. I'll just open it there. And it comes with a small loom, which is fine because I haven't got one this size. I've got one just slightly smaller than this, but having one this size. So for £2, you've got now, let's open this side. So for £2, it comes with a small loom, a piece of cotton, a needle, and a selection of fabrics, which are all quite pretty, nice colours, and you can create a nice picture with that. And the thread, which I'm always on the lookout for the black one, because when you get I find this, let me just check, the way that I check whether it's good quality, this is just the cheap type, because when you're using really good quality thread, because what you're doing is you're using strands of this. If you get really good quality, to break a strand it would be a lot harder than it was there. I mean, obviously together they're stronger. So, but for £2 to have a selection of materials, the loom was really what I wanted. So, and that's so again, you know, that's a reasonable price. Okay, so the thing that I wanted to show that was good price was this. So it's vintage ribbon, it's 3 meters, and it's 3 meters, and I got this, that was £1, and I got this one, and that cost me £4. But I mean, it is 5 meters, so it's 2 more meters. But so this is costing me £1 a meter. No, this is costing me for 3 meters £1, 5 meters £4, and this one is still quite pretty. They only had 2 of them, so I wasn't able to get more than 2. But it's a very pretty design. I mean, this one is a very pretty design as well. So I was pleased with that. I mean, I used the ribbon in my but the other thing, I mean, this is the same. This was £4, and this is 30 millimeters in width. So I liked that one. So that was £4. But from the shop that I went to, these were £1, and I think that that's a good price. I got some felt butterflies. I had brought this one. I mean, these I got for £1 as well, but these are felt butterflies that I thought I would use in a project. And then these that I saw. Now I've not seen fabric tape. It might just be like, well, fabric on a tape, basically. It's fabric on a tape. Double-sided tape. But let's see what this is doing here. So I'm just gonna so it's sun bleached as well. This is old because how's this working? Okay, you can't tear it, you have to cut it. I'm just going to put that on there, and okay, actually no, it's very well sticky. It's not what I thought it was, but it's fabric, and you can use this on many different projects. And so it is quite sticky once you've taken the fabric off, because I just thought it was like no, that's like extremely sticky. Let me try and find something to, that's extremely sticky. Okay, so I brought these two. doesn't tell you it's 3 meters. There's 3 meters of this. Okay, and I brought 5 of them because there's some nice patterns. So this will be nice with some types of fabric, or you know, like if you're doing applique. I thought this would be quite useful for that because it's already sticky. You don't need to seal it down. I got some burlap roll. This is 3 meters for £1. And that was that. This was the other tape I got. So they're the same tape, but you know, well, 6 meters then. 6 meters for £2. So you can't go wrong with that. I got this, it says it's a vintage ribbon. I just liked the you look at the, I just like the look of it, the colours, pale green. That was £1. And then I got some little Okay, so I've got these spools, which I find when I'm using, it's here, it's like I keep my string in here when I'm using it for projects, but what I did was I took some off, and what I thought would have been useful for me anyway is to have a little spool that I could just wrap this around like so, see, and then it just sits in there all nice and neat, rather than like this box of when I'm doing any of my sewing projects, my hand sewing projects, I get, my needles are in here and my thimbles are in here, but to have like just mini spools that you could put the thread on, because normally I would travel with this, so to have a selection, so that's why I brought these, and these fit quite nicely in there. They will do once I've sorted it out and put the thread on. That was 9 for £1, 9 pieces for £1. And then I got these little bottles, these jars, they're craft jars, and they're really useful for the beads as well. So when I'm travelling and I want to take a selection of beads, especially the smaller beads, these are going to come in handy. Them there, and put that back there. I found these, they're alcohol pens. Now I brought this is a blender. I brought mostly black because I go through the black pens quite quickly, and then I brought I think I lost some because I'm sure I brought 2 sky blue and 2 silver. It was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I think I must have dropped 2 on the way. Oh no. They're on my studio floor. So I brought silver and 2 blues. So these are my favourite colours. But I thought that they would really come in handy because they're like the Pro Marker pens and the what's it? I only remember the last bit of the name, Noir. I've got some of those as well, but it comes with 2 points, fine point, and put that on, and broader as well. And it comes with a blender. Now you don't get alcohol markers for £1, so the black I might even go back and buy some more because I do a lot of the look, this is really nice. This is really nice and fine, and the blender, this is obviously not the right type of to blend the 2 colours together. It's obviously not the right type of paper for this type of marker, but as I say, they were £1 each, and it's by a brand called Tinge. Alcohol ink art marker. Yeah, I'm going to go and get some of the other colours because for 8 of the Noir pencils, they were like £1. If you were to buy them individually, I know the Pro Markers are about £1.69, £1.70, and so the others were about the same price. So, you know, I think it's a bargain, really. I think it's a bargain. So those are my new alcohol pens, but again, so I've just really got them mainly for the black. They had other colours. They didn't have white. I would have loved it if they had white. They had green and red, but I got, these were the main colours that I would use, and I'd got a blender just so that I could you know, use them in that way. Blend, you know, if I needed to blend. So they're going to sit with my Pro Markers for the moment. Okay, what else did I get? I got these mini hearts on a string. Oh, looks like they're all connected together. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, so these are mini hearts. Again, for particular art and craft projects, I thought they would be useful. Oh, it looks like they're... See, I would use them individually. Let me just... But they're like on a bunting kind of thing. But these are just ones that I would take off and, you know, use on some fabric. Okay, so there's 6 of these. And then the other thing I found were these packets of, they come out a bit. These are, it's 2 sheets of gift wrap, 2 gift tags, and a card and an envelope. And it was just 99p. And dependent on the size of the, you know, you always, I don't know, it's always nice to have a card that, you know, you can send. But even for, I like the card. That was what got my eye, the card. It's not as big as I thought it would be, but then you've got 2 tags that are quite pretty, and paper to wrap a gift. You know, there's always a birthday coming up and it's a nice size, so that in itself, you know, is worth the £1 that you're spending. You can always get another card. So I got 2 of this type and 1 of this. This also caught my eye. It's looks like it's a bird design. Let's open it. I'd like to see inside. Okay, so you've got 2 bird tags, which is quite cute. I think that's a cute little bird there. And the tags. And then you've got the card, and it's been embellished with glitter. It's got glitter all over it actually, on the inside. It's quite a nice, sturdy, thick card, and you could always, using the tag for a separate thing, like cut out the bird and attach it, or, you know, the colours are complementary, so you can cut these out. I would cut some of these out and attach it to the card, and so the card would look kind of, you know, like it's been not decoupage. The paper is gorgeous. It's a lovely size. It's a great size. Doesn't say what the size is. 50 by 70, 50 centimeters by 70, but that's lovely paper. So that was another thing that I got. Let's stuff that away in a bit. Let's see what else there is. I got me some, they call it vintage buttons, but the buttons that caught my eye were these very pale blue ones, and then some of the bigger ones I thought were quite cute. Sorted buttons. So, and then I got this, is a jar of, it says haberdashery jar. So this jar has got the contents of this jar. I brought some beads. Here they are. Well, I did buy them. I went to the charity store and got, it's these round beads, but they're exactly, I'm sure they're exactly the same or very similar. Well, this one has got, it's like a flower pattern, but it's very similar in colour. So I thought to myself, you know, these are nice wooden beads. This cost £1. I actually wanted the jar, but, you know, you got the beads as well. So that's fine. So I got that. Some more glass jars for the beads, you know, like when I'm travelling, in terms of, you know, having beads on hand. I got me some wooden embellishments. So these are owls and birds. So for some of the smaller framed images, it's got 2 different types of owls. Yeah. So, and this only cost £1. When I went to another store, I think there was 6 for £1.50 or something like that. But see, we've got 12, and they're very cute. Go in there, very cute owls. You can colour it. It's wood. You can colour it, and once you've stuck it down, you know, you can attach it to journals and things like that. Okay, and I got me some fabric spray paints. Now, the reason why I brought these was because they're sprays, and I don't have, I brought the bottles and I've put the paints in and they've always clogged up. So I thought to myself, well, this is fabric paint, and they're quite bright colours, neon colours. Oops. So we got a kind of neon colours there, and then we've got some more, like, I love this colour. This is a reddy colour, but you know that the hole in the bottle is big enough so that if you were to refill it, you wouldn't have any problems. So I thought it was £5 for 8, and there's quite a lot of paint in them. Probably about 2 or 3 fluid ounces in each. Doesn't really say on here, but I thought that was a useful buy, and some of the colours are really nice for some of the fabric. I've got some white fabric that, you know, using stencils with these would be really great, and then you could just refill them with acrylics, inks, or what have you. I brought, this is what I actually went out to buy. It was a washi tape. A while back I brought, went to the same store, and they had like three for £3, so that was £1 each. A washi tape, and we know that, you know, when washi tape's quite expensive. Well, it's more than £1. So they were selling these for £3, marked down from £7. Now, I use these in some of my paintings, but what I do is I use it as background, basically. But you can use these as gifts if you want, you know, in terms of gifts that you're decorating. So when you this comes with a nice little tube for that. Okay, so there's 4 different varieties. I've got material like this. So I've got material like that. They're so pretty. I just really like them, and when they first came out, I was just like, I'm not going to spend the amount that they were charging for some of these tapes was just ridiculous. But these are really pretty. All the colours complement one another. You could, you know, mix and match if you wanted to. But again, I use it in some of my artwork, and so it's useful. If you could put it back in its, maybe if you put it in here, it will stand up. If you were to attach that in there. Let me cut this bit off because I ripped it open. I guess there was a way of preserving it. And then you put that in there, and it really just holds. It really just holds the tube together. You could put that on top, maybe. No. Anyway, so I'll keep them in the packet. I brought 3 packets of these, and it's 5 meters in each. So again, it's quite good, and I'm just going to keep an eye out for when they have more, because it's as you see, you can use it for gift wrapping, and you can use it for, as I say, I use it for some of my craft projects. I can't believe the time has flown by so quickly. Rubbish bag. I was thinking, oh, it's quite heavy. Okay, and last but not least, I brought some of these. They're woodless charcoal pencils. Now, I've got this brand, which is by Prang, and you get a packet of 12. I've had them for years. I brought them, and I don't even know how much they cost then, but they were medium, and these are really good. These are my favourite. I use them in my art projects. I've just got a few. I don't like these ones. I don't like, they're too messy. These are not messy at all, and I'm just making my way through them. But as I say, I use them. I don't do charcoal paintings, but I use them when I'm drawing, when I'm creating a figure. I use them in my art in that way. And so I bought these. They were £2 for 3 because they came in soft, medium and hard. Now I think mine's medium, yeah. So just having an alternative in terms of as a in a pencil form, I thought was something that would be useful. And on top of that, my ones, you can, my ones, because once you've gone down to the stub there, you pull this string and it takes a bit of the wood off, and then you just unwind it and it will give you the point. But it's never ever, if you look at it, it's never ever gonna get to a really fine point. So these ones, you can, because it's woodless, you can, there's no mess, but you can sharpen them to a really fine point. And as it says, it's halfway between a pencil and, that's a soft one, that's the hard one. So I'm going to have fun using those. It says that they're made entirely of charcoal. I don't know what this outer coating is. Sharpen the pencil to a point for fine lines, or use the side of the sharpened area to create broader strokes. But I think that that's just really great for, I'm just going to use the same book that I was messing on before with the, again, it's not really the paper, I would not draw on this, but it's almost like, you know, giving you a pencil. Like, this is the hard one, which is really good, gives you more control. This is the one that I would normally use. So, as you can see, the strokes are different. I can use the side for this one. And I guess what I might try and get into is more, you know, doing portraits using charcoal. Because I used to love doing pencil portraits. This is the medium. Okay, so it's very similar to the ones that I use anyway, but again, you know, the points, you know, being able to being able to do finer detail because you've got a pen, you know, a sharper pen. So this is the soft, so it goes on much easier. Well, I guess they all, you know, charcoal is charcoal, but this is a soft one. It wouldn't really bother me about the whether it's soft or hard, because as I say, I use them to do the outline. I can't believe it, I've gone through everything already. I would just use them to do the outline, and then what I do is use water to set it. So usually working on canvas, I then use water and I go over it, over the lines actually, and the water sets it. So that's how I would use it. But I am going to do some more pencil, some drawings, some portraits, using charcoal. Let me see what I've got in here now. So I've got still 3. These have lasted me forever. As I say, you know, I've had them for 12, and I think I've got, yeah, about 6 left. I've been using them over the years, but I love them because, you know, you can use it like a pencil and it's not messy. That was the main thing. When I found them, I was just like, oh my gosh, I need that. I need that. I really dislike this charcoal. This is like a very cheap brand. I don't know where I got this from, because it's not even it's not even, you know, very broad surface. It's a medium. And I've got some willow sticks, some additional charcoal there, but again, as you can see, it's very, very messy. And this woodless charcoal, hard, bold near. Yep, so I like that. I'm going to keep one out, probably, I guess, depending on the surface. I'm going to keep all 3 out. And I've got my little one there. So, I think that's it. Thinking about my best buy would have to be the thing that I went out for, and that's the washi tape, because I wasn't expecting to buy this tape. I was expecting to buy more of the one that I've already got, and the lace as well, the ribbon lace that was, and find, like I said, it was all, you know, they're all things that I'm definitely going to be using in my projects, but yeah, they're the things that I was really pleased to buy, and then the rest of it, because I just took my time in the store, the rest of it kind of were additional bonuses, because you know, like the paints, I didn't set out to buy spray paints, but all my spray paint bottles have become clogged. The ones that I brought the bottles and then, you know, added the paint, they've all got blocked. So it's good to find ones that this is what they're made for. So I've got to now find a space for all these lovely goodies in the studio and start utilising them. The other thing I thought about these containers, let me get the one that I've opened. because I've now, my collection of washi tape washi tapes are growing, and so I thought to myself they would fit quite nicely. If you took one of these out, they'd fit quite nicely in. They're a bit kind of flimsy like, so you don't want, maybe the beads are not necessarily, the larger beads that I've got are probably gonna go in here quite well, but the washi tape, or these tapes, let me think, so they could fit like that, not like that. The smaller washi tapes can fit, you could fit them in there. So I've just got to, what I would probably do is, if it's gonna be a home for the washi tapes, to decide on, let me just take this back. So what I've decided with using these, I'll probably stick them, because they don't seem as sturdy as I thought they were, but it's still a great case. It's still a really useful case to store things in. So I could just store the tapes in, because I'm tapes and the ribbons and things like that. So it's still quite a useful storage case. And what I would probably do is repackage, place these looms in a different container. You've got, are these the same? They're like fluorescent. Yeah, empty one and put these in other bags, and put my tapes in there. Put my tapes and things like that. So thanks for watching so far. I'm gonna enjoy doing some projects with some of the stuff that I brought, and letting you see how, you know, you can buy reasonably priced crafts. Depending on where you go, you don't necessarily, depending on what you need, you can sometimes find crafts that is more affordable. So say for instance this paper, now it is glossy, so you might need to make it a bit rough, but if you were, you know, collage materials, you know, you can find, you know, you've got collage materials here, depending on what you're doing, you know, these are really good. I find these are really good in terms of using them in paintings and things like that. So you need to know what it is you want to do, and then look for alternatives. So I also go shopping in the hardware stores, because in the hardware stores they sell a lot of the supplies that we would use in crafts. So heat gun, you know, you can get quite a powerful one for a fraction of the cost that you would if you bought it in a craft store. Things like, I got my soldering iron in a craft store, and they were selling it for £9, but sorry, in a hardware store, but they were selling it for double the price in the craft store. And so it's like, you know, you need to, if you can, you know, look for alternatives, look for other things that can double, and you will usually find, you know, I brought a eyelet setter for £3 in the hardware store. It has just one type of eyelets, but that doesn't matter, you know. You know, it's general size. I'm going to be using the general size for some of my projects. If you need smaller ones, you know, I'm sure, well, I don't know whether it would fit, but I'm sure that the size that I've got is going to be able to fit. So I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'm going to start packing away. I need to start packing away. My time is going, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to using some of these things and playing around with some of them, and sharing what I've created. Look at that, that's such a beautiful colour, isn't it? Oh, look, so a lot of the you know, things are complementing one another. Okay, so we're going to leave it there, and we shall see you soon. Bye.